Have you ready? Oh, clicked?
Yeah.
Right, so we've got Caoimhín Agyarko. See what I mean?
Agyarko.
Caoimhín Agyarko, right? Well, 26,
26, yeah.
boxer, and fighting for belts soon, maybe potentially.
Well, I've fought for. I was WBA international champion at middleweight and light middle.
Yeah.
But then I got injured, so I had to vacate my
Yeah.
belt. But yeah, hopefully after my next fight, start fighting for like European world honours.
Yeah. When you say that you got injured, was it the proper injury that we said we would speak about, or was this your thumb?
Yeah, no, my thumb. So
Your
it was
thumb,
from,
yeah. 'Cause
yeah.
about nearly 12 months ago, was it roughly?
Yeah, last I did it probably a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, and then I just kept on fighting with the injury. But it got serious last October, and I was meant to fight, and obviously had to pull out, and then went and got surgery and stuff. So I was out for about 15 months.
Yeah, because I was watching a video before. Didn't your coach or someone pull you out about 10 days before it?
Yeah, it was literally 10 days before the fight. I was meant to fight in Wembley Arena, in a tough fight, and obviously it was in camp and stuff, but I just wasn't able to use my hand. But I was just kind of like going to sessions, getting on as if nothing was wrong, but my coach could tell. And yeah, he just came to me and said, "Listen, I can't let you fight." So
how did that feel? Like that must have been devastating.
yeah, it's heartbreaking because I'm a fighter. I've been doing it since I was 7, so I've had injuries and I've just always got through them, no matter what. Like it is what it is. Like no fighter goes into a fight without a little injury or a niggle, but obviously this was a serious one. I'd snapped my ligament and I had a fracture in my hand, and yeah, it was devastating because obviously it was 10 days out. It was a massive fight for me, and all my friends and family had like booked tickets to come over and watch me and whatnot, and yeah, it kind of felt like I let them down, but listen, you got to put your health first, don't you? So
did that make the comeback a bit more stronger for you, a bit more determined?
Yeah, definitely. I think obviously after that, I needed a little break anyway because I was constantly fighting and constantly picking up little niggles and injuries, so it was kind of like I can go away, get surgery, refresh, and then it's like a new start now.
Yeah. I reckon what we do, we go to the start, like. Let's start to talk about when you moved from London to Belfast. So, what was that like going from obviously English culture, especially in the capital, London, to then moving to Belfast and Northern Ireland? What was that like, especially as a kid?
Yeah, so I was born in London, lived there until I was 7, then moved to Belfast, where my mum's from. It was difficult, you know, because obviously in then times, I don't know if you know about the Troubles and like the Catholic Protestant, the peace treaty, the Good Friday Agreement. I don't even signed like I think it was 7 to 9 years before we'd moved to Belfast, so it was still fresh.
Yeah.
And obviously coming over with English accents, even though we're Catholic and Irish, I've always had Irish passport and stuff with an English accent. It doesn't seem that to the people of Belfast, and yeah, we were the first kind of mixed race family in West Belfast with English accents and stuff. But my whole family, like my older brother, had always lived in Belfast. And like my family's from Belfast, so kind of felt at home as well. We even when we lived in London, we'd go back and forth to Belfast to see family, so it was kind of familiar to us. But yeah, it was obviously a lot different, changing schools and different accents and being mixed, the only kind of mixed race in Belfast at the time.
Yeah. Did that have any effect on you going into boxing? Because like my only thought process was with that, and obviously kids nowadays, they can be horrible, they can be like little shits. Was there like any bullying or anything like that towards you that makes you think I need to go down a certain and like path, I want to get into boxing or whatever, I might need to defend myself, like an alley kind of thing maybe?
Yeah, no, not really. Do you know what, like I was getting into a little like not trouble, but like little fights, kind of having to defend myself. Just you got a couple of racial comments and whatnot, and always getting into fights, but that wasn't the reason I started boxing. My uncle used to box for the amateur gym that I joined in Belfast, and I was kind of just brought there to show where he had fought, and as soon as I walked in the doors, it was just like home to me.
That's
it was
it.
I was always a small, fat, aggressive kid and with anger issues. So whenever I went into the gym, it was like I wasn't brought there to box. And whenever I went into the gym, I remember going in my school uniform and just sticking a pair of gloves on and just fell in love with the sport.
Yeah,
like, so.
it just felt right, basically.
It just felt right, and haven't looked back.
How long was it then before like you started actually getting in the ring and competing against other people?
So I started sparring and stuff, and I played football also at the time. And my older brother used to box as well. We joined together, but he was naturally talented. They used to call us Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier. I was just a small fat kid that could brawl, and he was naturally talented. But he was fighting and I wasn't. I was going to all the football matches and stuff, and I wasn't like I was scared or anything, just prioritised football. And I remember being a bit jealous, seeing like all the younger ones in the gym at the time, like my age, competing and my brother competing and stuff. And I was like, I want to do that. So I think it was around, I'd started taking it serious when I was 12, 13. And then, yeah, I started competing like in tournaments at 12, 13 years old.
Do you think you would have got to this stage? So like when you've been 12, 13, do you think you'd be where you are today? Like in terms of the level that you're at now?
Nah, do you know what? No, I don't think so. When I was 14, I went to the World Championships and Europeans, and it was like, I was still like a novice boxer. I'd only had like 14 fights or something, and I remember going to the World and Europeans and I got beat by the world champion by 2 points. And I remember thinking to myself out in Kazakhstan, being like, if I take this serious and train hard, like I can make something of myself in this sport. And I think from that kind of, whenever I got a bit older, 14, 15, when I started really knuckling down, I think I realised then that I'm talented, and if I work hard, I can achieve what I want to achieve in the sport.
How far do you think you can go? Because, like, when I was trying to do a bit of research on you, like, you've sparred with Billy Joe Saunders, haven't you?
Yeah.
And you've been compared to Canelo.
Yeah.
Which made me giggle. How far do you think you can go? Obviously, you're still relatively young as an athlete.
Yeah, I think I can be world champion. Like, my ambition is to be the first Black Irish world champion, and I definitely have the capability, the talent, the skill to be a world champion. It's just about staying dedicated and keeping the head down, and obviously your career has to be planned out in the right way and stuff, and just not getting distracted by anything. But I definitely have the ability to be world champion, and that's what I don't do boxing for the money. Obviously money comes with it, you know what I mean? Or to be famous or to be a celebrity or anything like that. I want to be a world champion and get out of the sport. I want to achieve my dreams. I've dreamt of being the first Black Irish world champion since I was a kid, so I want to do that, and I believe that I can do it.
What do you reckon it takes to be a champion? Because, like, when I was saying to Derek, like, before you came, I was like, I've spoke to Keevan, he sounds sad. He sounds like a proper, genuine lad and all that. He doesn't seem like his head's above the clouds. Do you reckon it's like your personality that can make you a champion, or do you reckon it's just purely skill kind of thing, if that makes sense?
I think there's a lot of things that come into it. There's like, for me, I think you have to make sacrifices. Like I've made a lot of sacrifices to be where I am today. Like I trained in London for 4 years there, and now I'm training in Liverpool. I leave my friends and family. I've seen my girlfriend like twice in 4 months. Do you know what I mean? So it's hard. You're going to make a lot of sacrifices, but you also have to be delusional to a certain point. You have to believe before anyone else does. You have to, without proving it, being proven, you have to kind of believe and vision it in your head before anyone else does. And obviously you got to be hard working and dedicated and disciplined. But there's a lot of things that come into it. It's not just one thing that makes you a champion. And like I've seen a lot of people that's been super talented but just haven't had the work ethic or put the sacrifice in, or discipline, and they haven't reached the levels that they should have. Do you know?
Yeah, because it does sound like you have got like that right mindset. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
so,
do you know what?
hats off to you there.
Thank you. I would say I have always been mentally strong. I've always known what I wanted. Do you know what I mean? Since a young age, I've always known what I wanted, and I feel like, regardless of what job you're in life, like if you want something hard enough or want it a lot, you have to work or sacrifice to get that life you want. You know what I mean?
Do you find yourself becoming mentally stronger the more you go on? Because like what you're saying, being away from your girlfriend and you only seen her twice in 4 months, like stuff like that, not really seeing friends, potentially not seeing family, I'm guessing, like being in Liverpool, away from Belfast, away from friends, maybe down in London, is it how challenging for you? It's basically, do you become lonely in that sense?
Yeah, do you know what? I like to call myself a popular loner. Like a lot of people know me, but I'm always on my own because I'm always in camp. Do you know what I mean? And you do become lonely, and sometimes you're like, oh fucking, like my mates are out in nightclubs or out doing stuff with each other, or like I could be out with my girlfriend and stuff. But that's sacrifice. You know what I mean? And nothing in life that's worth having comes without sacrifice. You know what I mean? But
so true. So true.
I think it is tough, and you do obviously become mentally stronger as time goes on. But I find there's always at one stage of camp where it gets me, and I'm like, fuck, Like you kind of hit rock bottom at certain stages, but you just build back up. Do you know what I mean?
How do you do it personally? Because I guess people do it differently.
Yeah,
what's your
I think my main is just my biggest attribute. Any doubt or any negative thoughts that come into my mind, I'm just able to switch it to. I always say, "Why are you doing this? Like, what are you like?" Yeah, you got a tough session tomorrow, but what's the outcome after the tough session? You want to be a world champion. Do you know what I mean? You've been through tough situations before, so you can get through this. This is a piece of piss. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's certain stages in my life, whether it's the incident that happened, falling out with family, friends, or whatever may have happened in my life. I've been through far worse situations than just sacrificing a few months, weeks away from my friends and family to achieve what I want to achieve. So I kind of play mental games with myself, and for me that helps, that works.
We're talking about the incidents, and obviously people don't know, like, they'll be watching this. Like, you got stabbed in the neck, didn't you? This was just after a fight that you won a competition in Paris, wasn't it? A tournament. You went back home to Belfast, and then, if I'm correct me if I'm wrong, was you jumped by a gang or something like that?
Yeah, so I'd won a tournament in Paris. I was still amateur, and me and one of my ex-girlfriends had went out to a nightclub and left early. Standing outside McDonald's waiting on some food. There was a queue. We weren't even drinking, so both sober. And it's just a group of about 30 people had threw like a McDonald's cup, and it hit me and went over my ex. And obviously we've just got into an argument. And then, one thing's led to another. I've ended up fighting all of them. And I've not realised I'd been stabbed. I was on top of one of them, punching them, and my ex had pulled me off, right, that's enough. And as she spun me around, she's seen, obviously, that I've been stabbed, and I haven't felt anything. I was like, she was like, what the fuck's happened to your face? And I was just like, I'm alright. Knowing I'm a boxer and I've been fighting, it could be a cut, it could be a bruise, like, it's not that deep. Little did I know that it
was that deep.
Yeah, I was an inch from death. So thankful to still be here. But yeah, obviously, that was a hard time in my life. Being attacked and stalled my career for 5 to 6 months, and just a mental battle to come back from that as well was very tough.
Because what I found mental, like the closest thing I can relate to that, and I never got stabbed, is that I snapped my patella tendon in my knee, and I was out for 4 months, and I thought that was hard to come back.
Yeah.
The fact you're saying 5 to 6 months after being stabbed 1 inch away from death, that's some going, like, that's a warrior spirit.
Do you know what? I don't like to dwell on things, and I remember going back to, I was told that I would be out of the ring for a very long time, and I remember going back to training after 2 weeks, and I'd like literally still had, the cut hadn't healed. I was just like, I can't, like, for what, I was 20 then, so for 13, 14 years, I'd never took any time off training. So when you go from training every week, every single day, to then having to take 2 weeks off, which seems like nothing, it just wasn't in my routine. So I went back to training after like 2-3 weeks, and I went back way too soon. Because I'd lost so much blood, and I started getting lightheaded and stuff, and obviously the cut had to heal properly. So I remember, like, and then I obviously got back into 5-6 months after properly. But if I had my own way, I'd have been back the first week.
Because didn't you, like, I saw the video of yourself, and where you had an interview with someone about getting stabbed. Is it true that you said to the doctor while you were on the bed, along until I'm back boxing?
Yeah.
So there was no thought about you just recovering, it's just, when am I back on that ring?
Yeah, I remember just lying there and just being like, when can I go back to training? She was like, let's not worry about that, let's focus on healing and stuff. And I don't know, I remember my family and friends coming and crying, and I'm like, I'm alright, like, I'm still here. Do you know what I mean? I wasn't in any pain, and yes, and I didn't realise till after how hard it affected me mentally, but I was fine physically. Do you know what I mean? I had a cut on my face, neck. I was alright, so I didn't really want. I'm not someone who like dwells on something, or like, I just want to get back to what I'm doing. Do you know what I mean?
Do you think that, in the strangest way possible, you getting a cut like that, or getting a stab wound, I should say, like that, has made you a stronger person?
Yeah, without doubt. It's been the biggest blessing for me. I mean, I had to overcome a lot of tough times. Like, I genuinely hit rock bottom and was in some dark places after I got stabbed, but I think it's formed me into the man I am today, and I'm thankful for that, because I learned a lot of lessons off getting stabbed, and it kind of made me realise that tomorrow isn't promised, and if you want to achieve something, don't slack. Do you know what I mean? When I'm doing the job that I'm doing, it's a very short career, and if I want to achieve what I want to achieve, I've got to give it my all. So, yeah, it was a blessing in disguise.
What type of dark places would you say that you went into? Because like taking back to me and my knee, nowhere near the injury that you had, but like I was in dark places with that. Like there's just times where I thought I'm giving up, I don't want to do this anymore kind of thing, because I was just that fed up. But for you, like, what was it like?
Yeah, I remember, I think there's a lot of situations where I wanted to get revenge. I'm someone who has a lot of pride, and as a man we all have egos. I felt like I'd been violated and I wanted to get revenge, but it was like, what path do you go down? Do you go get revenge and potentially end up in jail, or do you try and stay on the straight and narrow and follow your dreams? And so it was like my mind playing games with me. I was very suicidal. I remember not wanting to be here, just the whole process of coming back, and like being a bit paranoid. Like if I'm out anywhere, and even now, I just self-consciously I have to sit somewhere with my back against a wall so I know where everybody is. Do you know what I mean? So constantly walking about if you're looking over your shoulder. I've always been someone who has looked over their shoulder, but whenever I got stabbed, it made it 10 times worse. Yeah, and so yeah, I struggle with mental health issues and wanting to take my own life and stuff. And thankfully, I had the right people around me, right friends, family, and had a vision, a dream that I knew that I wanted to achieve my goals. And yeah, I kept my head on the straight and narrow, and thankfully I'm still here.
Yeah. It's mad that when you think about it, like some of the stuff that you've gone through, and even it hasn't been like that detrimental to your life. So in terms of like moving from London to Belfast, age 7, and then going through everything, getting into scraps, then going into boxing, it's mad that like someone of like your mindset, your fighting ability, and let's not beat around the bush, you're hard as shit. Like I've seen someone you fight and all that, I won't want to scrap you. But it's like even yourself can get into them places. Like that's why I want to do this podcast and like try and make sure that everyone's in the same boat kind of thing, and all the mental health for men. It's like I can go through, and I'm just a lad from Kenny in Liverpool, but like you're a pro boxer, like you're gonna be going for belts and stuff like that. But even you can get to them places.
Yeah, like people gotta like when people say to me, "Oh, like you're famous," or like back home where you're a celebrity, I'm like, I'm a regular person that's doing well at my job.
Yeah,
like my job's in the public eye. It's like being the best. I don't know. Best barber in the world. You don't really get the attention that you should because it's not on TV, you're not doing interviews and whatnot, but everybody's human. Do you know what I mean? Everyone has.
So true.
Do you know what I mean? I'm just a regular person that's doing well at what I do.
So like, I'm trying to think where you're saying that like you're a regular person and stuff like that, but did you have the people around you to keep reminding you about that? Because people can let it get to their head, can't they?
Do you know what? I remember, like, when I was younger, I wanted to be famous. I wanted to be a celebrity. But when I got a small bit of fame, that like I do now, I have a small bit of fame back home, and people recognise me. And it's good. You get recognition. Do you know what I mean? It's a good feeling. But I realised that's not who I want to be, and I would never let it change me. I would never, no matter how big I get, or if I'm ever a big famous boxer, I'll never ever let it change me. But I've got the right people around me not to let. Like my friends would never ever allow that. Like, and all my friends have been my best mates for 10+ years. And if I ever changed or tried to act in a way that's not me, they'd check me like and be like, "What are you doing?"
Keep you in line.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
do you reckon you can have the positive impact then that a lot of celebrities might need to do to look down on the younger generation, give them good guidance and stuff like that, especially for young boxers?
Yeah, definitely. I think I have a story there, and I want to achieve what I want to achieve, but coming from the background that I've came from, and hopefully being the first Black Irish world champion, I always go back to my amateur club and try and give back and take the kids on the pads and try and inspire them, because I was a kid once and I remember looking up to the older fighters in the gym at the time. So yeah, I definitely want to leave my mark and leave an impact on the younger generation.
Would you ever see yourself opening up your own gym back home?
I think so. It's something I've spoke about with my mates now, that I would love to open a gym and stuff. Whether I would open a boxing gym solely just boxing, I don't know. I've been doing this 20 years, and once I retire, I've always said I want to retire when I'm 32. Maybe go on a bit longer, I'll see. But I don't want to be in the sport too long, and maybe take a couple of years away for it. But I probably would go back and do a bit of coaching and stuff and try and help the kids in the community at the time. But yeah, I don't know. I might open my own gym at some stage.
If you were to open up your own gym, like say if you do retire at 32, or maybe a little bit later, would it be like where you said it's strictly boxing, but would you maybe relate to anything mental health wise and all that because you've gone through stuff like that? Maybe let kids be a bit more open to it instead of just coming in, jumping on the pads and stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely. I think I always say, like, what do I want to do after boxing? And I want to help people. I definitely want to help people, whether it's within a fitness goal or to help them in life, whatever it may be. And definitely, if I was to open a gym, it would be a part of where people could come in and speak, not only just come in and train, and if they had any problems or whatnot. Do you know what I mean? I from where my life, my story, I've realised that it's okay not to be okay. I remember whenever I was going through my mental health issues and I didn't want to be here anymore, and I didn't want to speak to anybody because I don't like telling people my business or how I'm feeling. I'm a proud man, do you know what I mean? And I remember my ex-girlfriend being like, you need to speak to somebody, like whether it's me, your brother, your friends, or professional help, you need to speak to someone. I remember I went and got professional help after saying that I didn't need to speak to anybody. I went and got professional help, and it's the best thing I ever did. It potentially saved my life. Like, so definitely would want to give back if I own my own gym and help other people that's suffering through mental health issues.
Yeah, because that's mad. Because like me and you have done the exact same thing there. Like I went and saw a therapist. So I'm guessing you saw like maybe a therapist. You said professional. It's like I remember when I went through my mental health stuff and I thought about suicide. Like I don't think I've told many people this one actually. Where in the house I was looking where I could hang myself. Yeah. And like what was going through my head was, oh, well, mum, dad are going to come in and say I can't do that to them. Yeah. But when I went and saw a therapist, I thought it was the best thing ever. Because my thing was always, I've gone into this naturally, I want to get out of it naturally. I don't want no tablets, I don't want to speak to anyone. But going down the route of a therapist was like, as you said, the best thing that you can definitely do. Did you feel like they opened you up more than like what a friend or family could? Like they made you look at yourself a different way or see things in a different way?
Yeah, I think so. I think obviously it's when you're going to someone who knows you, like if you go to a friend and family and they know you well enough, that's one where you're probably not getting the right answers that you're looking for. Whereas when you're going to somebody and you can get it all off your chest and you're getting professional advice and their opinion, do you know what I mean, on how or to come out of that rut that you're in, I felt like it was more beneficial than speaking to friends and family.
Yeah, because like literally everything that you've gone through has led you up to this point at the minute, hasn't it? Like it's made you the man you are today.
Exactly, and it's mad. Like I still go through situations in my life where it's like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Do you know what I mean? Whether it's certain shit that I've just got going on in my life, but I always just tell myself that it's part of the journey. It's what it is. It's literally it's meant to happen to either make or break me, and I won't allow it to break me. So.
Are you like ready for like the next encounters for like mental health and stuff like that? Whatever comes up, do you feel like you're more prepared for it?
Yeah, definitely. I think I just don't feel like anything can break me. No matter what it is, I just if I was to touch wood, I don't. If I was to lose a fight, I know that I'll come back. It doesn't matter. I could lose 100 fights. I'll still achieve what I want to achieve in the sport. If I was to, I don't know, fucking have another injury or get hit by a car or something, touch wood, that doesn't happen. But I know that my mind won't allow me to break. Do you know what I mean?
I think you've been through like probably the top dog of injuries that you could get. So I feel like anything that comes in, it's not going to really come close to that. But speaking about fights, I doubt he's even ever going to see this, but you've got Troy Williams from next. Yeah. How you feeling about that?
Yeah, I'm confident. It's going to be my toughest fight to date. It's a real step up for me. It's a tough fight. Troy's a good fighter. He was British champion. He's only been beat once by Josh Kelly, who's a very, very good fighter. So it's a step up for me. It's back in Belfast in 3 weeks' time, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the challenge, and it's a fight that can really boost my profile, can boost me in the rankings, and I'm looking forward to going out and put a good performance on.
So you go back home, Belfast, because you've only fought one professional fight there, haven't you?
Yeah.
Home crowds. Troy's going to be essentially the visitor, more experience, more fights, couple more wins. But do you reckon having a home crowd behind you is really going to do something?
Yeah, I think when the going gets tough, I think it's because I know it's going to be a hard fight. But if it at any stages that it gets tough in there, and I know that I'll have the crowd to kind of give me that second wind, that bit of more energy for me. Do you know what I mean? When I've got, I don't know, there's going to be 10,000 Irish fans in there screaming my name, I know that it'll give me that bit of boost, that bit of motivation to keep fighting and getting the win.
So essentially what it sounds like, yeah, because I'm a massive Liverpool fan, so it's like having like all the Scouse Liverpool fans behind you, singing Klopp's name, Nunes, whoever it is. What does that feel like though, like from being 7-year-old, moving, oh my God, walking into your uncle's gym, and now you could have 10,000 Belfast fans singing your name?
It's everything I've dreamt of. Do you know what I mean? Going back to Belfast, I'm fighting in the SSC arena that I used to go to watch Irish legends fighting, and now I'm there being a co-main event. I dreamt of this since I was a little kid. You know what I mean? I've worked hard to get to where I am. So, but I won't let that kind of get in the way of me losing focus. We've got to this moment, but we need to push on. Do you know what I mean? I need to win this fight. This is a massive fight for me. So, yeah, as much as it's a great achievement and it'll feel amazing, like I fought in Nottingham when Mick Conlon fought Lee Wood, and there were 6,000 Irish fans there, and I was co-main event, and the noise was incredible. I remember coming out thinking I was going to be nervous, and I remember coming out and just relishing the moment, just like smiling, going into the biggest fight in my career at the time. Just that the noise the atmosphere is unbelievable. So now this is back home in Belfast, and I'm going to have a full stadium cheering me on. It's going to be amazing. I can't wait.
Because that was my next question. I was going to say, would you reckon you get nervous? But you literally answered it yourself.
Do you know what? I hope I do get nervous. I don't get nervous for fights, you know. And psychologically, in the changing room before a fight, I'll have to try and I'll go through scenarios to try and get myself nervous, because nerves are good. You don't want to be overly nervous, but nerves are good. Do you know what I mean? So I hope I am. I probably will be, to be honest, because this is the biggest fight of my career. This is a massive fight for me, and I've got this in my backyard, and it's in Belfast, so I'll probably be nervous, but I'm looking forward to it.
If Caoimhín wins, what's next?
When Caoimhín wins.
Okay. Sorry, yeah.
No, March.
When Caoimhín wins.
I hope to be out in March. I want to kind of go down the route of fighting for a European title, and then on the World Honours. I know that I was ranked number 10 with the WBA in the world, so I would like to push on the World Honours, but I know you can't skip levels in boxing, and I'd like to win a European title some stage next year, and then push on to World Honours. And I want to go back to Belfast and keep on fighting back home, headlining shows there. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to be co-main event for this, and this is the first step in kind of showing the Irish fans what I'm made of. And I got an unbelievable following anyway, but to show them that I can go back home and headline shows there and bring big time boxing back to Belfast.
Because you fought in Wembley, haven't you? Yeah. So what was that like, fighting in Wembley, and do you reckon that's going to compare anything compared to fighting in Belfast?
No, it'd be nothing like fighting. I fought there early on in my career. Do you know what I mean? I think it was my third fight. This is going to be electric on December 2nd. This is going to be just the whole build up, the whole fight week. There's a bit of beef back and forth between me and Troy on social media and stuff. He's been calling me out for a while. So yeah, it's going to be electric, and then fight night's just going to be amazing. So nothing will compare to this. This will be the biggest night of my career to date. Like,
do you like the back and forth as well on social media? It's always intrigued me that, like, whether it's boxing, MMA, like in the US.
I like to do my talking in the ring. I'm not somebody that disrespects other fighters on social media. It's not in my nature. It's not who I am. Boxing's a tough sport, and I don't feel like there's a need to disrespect other fighters on social media. But I understand the game. It's an entertainment. I understand that closed mouths don't get fed. So it's nothing personal between me and Troy. It's business. Simple as that. And they're trying to the boxing world's trying to portray it as they've got beef. They've been back and forth on social media. It's strictly business for me. I don't let anything become personal because it's just another scalp. It's just another fighter in the way of trying to stop me from achieving what I want to achieve. It's no other. It could be Troy Williamson or King Kong on the night. Do you know what I mean? It's not personal.
Do you reckon that boxing is starting to get pushed more with the trash talking because of like what's going on with all these YouTubers and that? Because everyone knows about them, don't they?
Yeah.
Like,
I don't think so. I think there's always been trash talking in boxing, but I think there is a lot more people probably doing it now than before because they probably realise that closed mouths don't get fed, and we've all got the social media platform to build our own careers. Like, you get boxers, and I understand it, be like, oh, I've fought for 20 years or 15 years and I'll never get the payday that Jake Paul's getting. Mm-hmm. But Jake Paul created his fan base, the exposure that he gets off social media, a free platform that you also have. Just be creative with it. Do you know what I mean? If you want to be relevant, just do what he did. I mean. So
as a professional boxer, because I've like always had these back and forth with my mates, do you give like hats off to them lads, like making all that money, like the stuff that they bring in, they bring in more into the sport and all that, more boxing fans?
I don't want to associate it with boxing. Call it combat, like Misfits combat.
Yeah, I was say you called it Misfits, didn't you?
It's not boxing.
Yeah.
But I take my hat off to them, because I respect anyone who's trying to better their life and trying to make a few quid. It's a hard world in life we live in, and if you can make as much money as possible, do so. But just don't disrespect the sport. Don't disrespect the actual fighters that literally give blood, sweat and tears for it. Do you know what I mean? Who's been doing it since they were kids, and calling, like, YouTubers coming in, calling out the best in the sport just to make money. And I'm okay with making money, but just don't disrespect the sport. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Well, at the end of the day, like, you've got to make money, haven't you?
Yeah,
like you
exactly.
said, closed mouths don't get fed.
Exactly.
But like, Derek thought of a few questions, and like, Derek's a fighting lad himself, so if you two ever want to spar. But like, he asked him, because I'm just conscious about time, so I don't want to keep you too long, lad. Being signed to Eddie Hearn is a massive achievement. How has the relationship affected your boxing career, and what does this mean for you in the future?
Yeah, it's great to be promoted by Eddie Hearn. He's one of the best promoters in boxing, and it's definitely got me more exposure being with Eddie Hearn. Do you know what I mean? And with him believing in me and believing that I can be a world champion, it's great. So it's definitely benefited me to be promoted by him.
How did that come about? Like, it's like, how does the process work?
So I was with Frank Warren before. He's another promoter. Whenever I turned pro, Eddie Hearn had heard about me, but didn't really see the fuss. And then he does an interview whenever he sent me saying I seen Keep fight and was like, fuck, I've made a mistake here, because obviously I've seen with their competitors. But yeah, I was coming to an end of my deal with Frank Warren. I was with him for 3 years, and I didn't feel like I was getting the exposure that I deserved, the big fights, the money fights, and I wanted to change. And thankfully, my management, STN and Paul Reddy, had said to me that Eddie and Matchroom are interested in signing you, and we just got a deal done.
Was there like any buzz around it? Like, oh my God, Eddie Hearn kind of wants to like sign me. Like, was there like any like maybe like the kid inside you was like,
yeah,
shit,
definitely.
like,
Watching Eddie Hearn promote shows in Belfast and just see who is his personality. He's massive in boxing. And being like, fuck me, I've dreamt of this. Do you know what I mean? This is everything that I'm doing. I've envisioned it before and dreamt of it when I was a kid, and now it's coming true, and through hard work. And it's like that's like, as much as I'm like, I don't get like a fanboy over anybody. Yeah. I'm like, fuck, that's Eddie Hearn. Do you know what I mean? This is Matchroom Boxing. Like, this is the best boxing stable in boxing, and I'm a part of it now. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it's a good feeling.
Alf, do you reckon he can take it really far? Like Eddie, I know he's done it with loads of people.
Yeah.
Do you reckon?
I mean, I believe that. I believe he could bring me to being a world champion, but I think it's me that'll make it far. It's me that'll bring, regardless who I'm with. It could be Eddie Hearn, it could be whoever.
It's got to be you, isn't it? Like,
yeah, I will be world champion. It's as simple as that. I won't sell for anything less, and I've worked too hard not to be. So yes, it would be great to have Eddie on the journey, and him being a part of making me the first Black Irish world champion. But regardless,
you're lifting that belt.
Yeah, regardless, I'll be a world champion. So.
Yeah. Because who is currently the middleweight champion? I've never actually known that. At the minute.
The light middle. So I'm light middleweight. It's Charlo. One of the Charlo brothers have all 4 belts. He just fought Canelo for Canelo's 4 belts. Up at 2, he moved up 2 weights. So I'm not sure they might become vacant because he might be moving up in weight. So they might just whoever's in the they might become vacant, and whoever's number 1 and 2 at the weight will fight for them. So.
Yeah, because I'm not like 100% sure on how like the boxing all that goes. So how far away would you say you are from getting them shots?
Not far. I mean, you come through Troy on December 2nd. It could only be 5 fights away.
Really?
Yeah. Could only be 5 fights away. Do you know what I mean? I beat Troy. I pick up a European title, maybe another organisation. Like I've won 2 WBAs, which ranked me number 10 in the world. So, I pick up another WBC international or something like that. I'll be in the rankings, and it's just about being patient and getting your shot.
Because are you still trying to be like a really active fighter within the year? Because in your eyes, what is an active fighter in terms of actually having events?
I think if you're fighting 3-4 times a year, you're active. So that's what I aim to do. Obviously, I've been a bit inactive because of injuries and stuff, but I want to be fighting 3-4 times a year.
Yeah, because when like some boxers might say, they might go, I'm going to fight like 5 more fights, but that could take like 3-4 years because they fight like once a year roughly. So essentially, like, you could be a world champion in the next 2 years if you keep your head down.
That's the goal. I said I want to be world champion before I was 28. I've said that since I was 14, 15 years old. So 26, I've got 2 years to achieve that dream.
How come you want to go to 32 roughly and then retire? Is it because you've been in the game for that long?
I've been boxing since I was 7. It's coming up to 20 years that I've been boxing. Do you know what I mean? It's very taxing on the body, and you pick up niggles. And like I said, I've never done it because of the money. If it was for the money, I would stay on longer. It's because I want to be a world champion. As soon as I achieve my dreams, the plan now is to invest money in it and retire. I might get to 32 and think I want to be a 2-weight world champion or a unified world champion or something like that. So, but for now, I want to retire. I want to get out of the sport. I want to get out with my health intact, make enough money and achieve my goals. So.
At least you're sensible with that, lads. And you're not just like trying to just fight and money, which I like.
Boxing's a very tough sport. It's, do you know what I mean? You see people become brain dead or taking serious injuries, and it affects them. And I don't want to be like, I want to get out with my health intact and a right frame of mind and live a healthy life. A question just popped in my head, and I'm actually curious about this one. Who's your dream fight? My dream fight?
Yeah.
Right now, I don't know. It would probably have to be someone like Canelo. One, being compared to him, and 2, it's a massive money fight. Yeah. So probably Canelo Alvarez. Yeah, I'd say Canelo.
Because who else are like the big names in like the weight divisions that you're in at the minute?
Obviously, you got the Charlo brothers. You got like in and around. You've got Eubank, Liam Smith. Obviously, I train with Liam Smith, but you've got Conor Ben's in and around the weight, within a weight or 2. That's just in the UK scene. Then you've got like Terence Crawford and Errol Spence, who will probably move up the light middleweight. So there's massive fights there to be made. Like,
not mental. I don't know too much about boxing, but like literally every boxer you've just mentioned are the ones that I know. That's so fair to say. You've got yourself another fan now. What's it like training with Liam? Because I sometimes see him in training station, the gym that I go to, it's the bodyweight one, but he does the strength and conditioning with Johnny.
Oh, yeah, I used to train with Johnny. So
did you?
Yeah.
Lad, he has everyone, you know. Lad, he's had so many people. What's it like training with Liam?
Yeah, it's good. Obviously, it's good. Liam's a great character, but obviously training with someone who's been there, done it, and still at that level. He's been a world champion. He's fought the Canelos. He's fought the big names in the division. He's beat Eubank and stuff like that. So it's great. It's great to be training with somebody like that you can take advice off, or you can see them training and what it takes to be at that level. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Did you ever see like a skill gap between you two, or like when you first started training with him, or can you keep up? Because obviously, like you said, he's been there.
Yeah, no, I definitely can keep up.
Yeah.
Technically, I think I'm better than them all. I think.
Yeah.
that's no disrespect to Liam or anyone in my gym. But I just believe in myself. I believe that I'm. It's just about me. It's my mind. It's as long as I'm level-headed and I know what I have to do. I know I'm technically good enough, but a lot more comes into boxing than just being technically good enough. You've to have the heart, the dedication, sacrifice, discipline. Do you know what I mean? So, but yeah, Liam's a great fighter, great athlete. And yeah, it's great to train alongside him.
Yeah, fair enough. Because I've been saying to people, because I see Callum in the I see Natasha Jonas in there. So
he literally trains everyone, Johnny.
Yeah. So like when I'm in there, lad, and I see them, I'm like, I'm gonna try and fucking get you on this podcast. You know, I'm gonna, hey, like, it's a second of your time there, mate. Like I say, I don't want to keep you too long. So one last one I'll ask you is, for young aspiring boxers, what would you give them based off your own experiences?
Like what advice? Just train hard and reach for the stars. No matter what I was told so many times in life that I wouldn't beat him. You'll not be this champion. You'll not win an Irish title. You'll not do this. And I proved everybody wrong. And I've been through adversity and I've bounced back. So as long as you believe in yourself and you work hard, reach for the stars, and never give up, you can achieve what you want to achieve in this world.
And then for anyone going through mental health issues and stuff like that, whether it's anxieties, depression, whatever it is, what advice would you give them?
Literally, it's okay. It's okay not to be okay. We're all human. Speak up. Go speak to a friend. Go get professional help. Message me. Literally, give you 5 minutes of my time, 10 minutes of my time, whatever it is, to speak to you. Do you know what I mean? It's we all go through our own struggles, and we're all humans. So it's okay not to be okay. And if you're going through something, speak up.
Boss, lad. Absolutely boss. Caoimhín, lad, I want to say thanks for coming on today. You've got your fight on the 2nd December in Belfast against Troy Williamson, and then you're going to win that fight, and I'm going to be watching that. Going to be watching that with my girlfriend. But lad, once again, thanks for coming on today. I really appreciate it.
Pleasure. Thanks for having me on.
Boss, talking to you, lad.
Thank you, mate.
Thanks. Belter, lad.